Hi Pisces, this is your horoscope for October 2018. Thank you for joining me. Now, the first couple of days of October, you've got the moon going through your 4th and 5th houses in Gemini and in Cancer. So the first 4 days of October are going to be really good in terms of communicating with family members and with your romantic partner if you have one. If you're single, the 3rd and 4th of October are really good days to look for a partner, to connect with someone romantically. And I say that because on the 5th of October, I've got some bad news for you. Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and creativity, goes retrograde until the 16th of November. And when Venus goes retrograde, we really have to respect that. I didn't respect it last year. When Venus goes retrograde, you're not meant to start a new business that you love or a new relationship or to fall in love, really. Because when Venus is in retrograde, it makes things appear wonderful even when they're not. So you may fall head over heels and then the retrograde ends and you look at this person and you're like, what? Because you now no longer love what you loved. Venus has just twisted things, so be very, very careful. I've always been a bit laissez-faire about this, you know. I've always been like, don't let retrogrades rule your life. If it's a Mercury retrograde, still travel, you know, your luggage might get lost or it might be a difficulty, but keep living your life, you know. Same with Venus retrograde. It may make it harder to find the right person. You know, there's an exception to every rule. There are people who have found their soulmates in a Venus retrograde. But what I'm saying is be careful, be very discerning. Finding someone during a retrograde is really difficult. And when I ignored the Venus retrograde last year and I got into a relationship, broke my heart, took me about a year to recover. So it's a placement that's really important. I'll go through each of the days in more detail in the weekly horoscopes, but over the 6th, 7th, and 8th, again, you're focused on other people. And on the 8th of October, I think you might get some bad news, or you may get something that you resent via your work. You may get some news about your work. On the 9th, or good news, there is some news coming in your working life, and the new moon is in Libra on the 9th of October, and it happens in your 8th house of institutions. So you may get a change of position, you may be transferred, there may be changes in your work, you may have the opportunity to sign up for something that allows you to create more beautiful work. If you're retired, you may be inspired to do something creative, but you will get some news that you may not enjoy, but that's ultimately designed to help other people. So the thing that comes in on the 9th of October, the news that come in, accept them. Accept those news, embrace them, resolve them. It's actually good, and you'll see the positive outcomes later on. On the 10th of October, Mercury, the communication planet, that goes into your 9th house in Scorpio. So now you've got Jupiter, Venus in retrograde, the moon and Mercury in Scorpio in your 9th house of higher realms, thinking, travel, and broadening your horizons. So you really feel strongly that you need to broaden your horizons, you need to learn things, you need to have new experiences. And that Venus retrograde is going to make sure you have experiences which are going to catch you in some sort of trap and cause emotional pain. So you've got to be very careful that, imagine yourself like Teflon, okay? Nothing sticks, especially relationship-wise. Don't take things so seriously. And don't allow yourself to be kind of taken hostage, you know, if you meet someone and it's like every day for the next week. From the 11th of October, that intensity continues, but it lightens up on the 12th when the moon goes into Sagittarius, and it stays in your 10th house until the 14th of October. So the 12th until the 14th is great again in terms of your career. You may see something progress. So I think the big blessing for you this month, Pisces, is that career-wise you'll hear some news, and that there are changes and there are opportunities for you to spread your wings and to have more freedom at work and to expand and grow and to do well at work. You know, the thing to avoid during a Venus retrograde is to start a new business. But the way it looks is that for whatever reason, people see you this month and recognize your talents and either promote you or give you more responsibility. But I really see a lot of good things happening to Pisces who are employed, especially around these days. On the 15th of October until the end of October, the 30th of October, the Sun in Libra at 22 degrees opposes Uranus at 0 degrees in Taurus. So the Sun is your identity, and it's at 22 degrees, which is the master number of the builder in Libra. So you're really able to build something worthwhile in your working life. Taurus there sits in your 3rd house, in Taurus at 0 degrees, and it says, oh, you sold out. You're doing all of this for other people. What are you doing? Where's your independence? So the ego is going to be in your ear via Uranus, and it's going to blame you for trying to do better. You have nothing to feel guilty about, okay? You need to do better. The sky's the limit. You deserve every good thing in the world just because you exist and because you chose to come to this crazy planet. So don't listen to Uranus during this opposition. It's going to try and make you feel bad, try and make you isolate yourself and reject the good fortune that's coming your way. Don't accept that. Continue to work with other people. Continue to make a good impression and say, I am achieving my hopes and dreams when it comes to work. On the 16th, that will be really, really powerful with the moon being in Capricorn. On the 17th of October, it goes into Aquarius, and it stays there until the 19th of October in your 12th house. So it passes the moon, which is in Aquarius. Those couple of days you'll really feel a strong desire to help other people, and that may put you in the spotlight in some way. So that could be at work again, most likely at work, and I see all of the successes being at work. If you're an unemployed Pisces, this is a great month to apply, to make presentations, to go for job interviews. It's really likely that you're going to get hired. Mars is in the 12th. The Sun and the transiting midheaven are in your 8th. So if you've been unemployed for 6 months, try again. It's really likely that you'll get a job in October, especially Pisces. On the 20th, 21st, on the 20th and the 21st, the moon is in Pisces in your sign in the 1st house, next to Neptune and Chiron. So these are 2 days where you're completely in your own little bubble, fantasy land, your own little world. It is useful though, because the moon goes into Aries in your 2nd house, and it stays there until the 24th of October. So the dreams that you have, you're immediately able to implement despite the Venus retrograde, and that is divinely guided and is going to increase finance in your life. So you're protected here during these couple of days, 21st to 24th of October. You can implement new ideas to create more abundance in your life. Venus retrograde isn't going to have a negative effect on you. On the 24th, there's also a full moon in Taurus, and that happens next to Uranus and Taurus in your 3rd house of communication. So what the gift is of this full moon for you, Pisces, is that you're able to take an abstract concept, a feeling, an idea, and you're able to put it into a tangible format. So either a photograph, a painting, some writing, a podcast, a video, anything like that. So if you've ever wanted to create something, if you've ever wanted to be creative, this is your chance to try it out. Maybe you're meant to be the next YouTube star. Try it out. The 25th and the 26th, the moon stays in Taurus in your 3rd house, so it's great to communicate practically. On the 27th and 28th, it's in Gemini, in your 4th house, so relationships with family members are really, really easy. Also on the 28th, the clocks go back in the UK. If you're in the States, happens on the 4th of November, so don't worry. But the 28th here, get on very well with family. On the 29th and 30th, again, we're looking at romance and love. You're becoming very interested in that, and you're very nurturing and you're very giving. Again, remember that it is a Venus retrograde and that you have been hurt in the past, and if you've learned that, then don't date during a Venus retrograde. Although I'm getting a sense that there are a lot of you who really are going to be the exceptions to the rule. So I'm sorry I'm being a little bit vague, but I have to say, out of all of the planets, intuitively what I'm feeling is that the Venus retrograde is going to affect you guys, Pisces, the least. Because you're so selfless anyway, that Venus retrograde can't do much to you. So, love. Feel free to love this month, but just make sure that you check them on paper as well. Okay, and that you don't give yourself away completely. Hold a little bit back. You don't need to just open your whole life immediately and make yourself vulnerable and available. Date for a couple of weeks. Say, I like yellow. My favorite food is spaghetti. Keep it very light. On the 31st of October, the moon goes into your 6th house in Leo, and Mercury leaves your 9th, and it goes into your 10th house of career in Sagittarius. So you move into November really on a high when it comes to your career, and I see October as the career building month for you, and then you hit the ground running and you gallop off into November with a real success in your working life. So that's what I get for you. And you're really lucky, because the big trap of Venus retrograde, which a lot of the other signs may fall into, you're pretty set. You're pretty immune to that. So congrats. I hope you have a wonderful October. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to order your reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I do daily tarot readings, weekly horoscopes for all signs of the zodiac, and I do special videos on the new moons and the full moons. Check those out. Please remember to subscribe, and I'll speak to you next month.